talking about ducking since before the first fight.
Okay.
There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here.
Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets on the ladder of doing bad business.
Manny Pacquiao reacted to Floyd Mayweather's reported $100 million Netflix fine by laughing it off and saying Mayweather should stop acting scared, face his problems, and take responsibility for his actions instead of blaming others for his mistakes.
And
Don't be
yeah, don't be a chicken, don't be a coward, don't be a chicken, don't be a coward, be a man, stop sitting down and throwing your problems on everybody else and blaming another individual or people for everything gone wrong in your life.
Jazz Math stated that Floyd Mayweather clearly knew what he was signing, fully aware it involved a professional fight. Because of this, he said it doesn't make sense for Mayweather to deny the agreement now, since all the terms were already clearly explained and accepted before.
It's not, it's not like he didn't know what he was signing. Okay. He definitely knew what he was signing. He definitely knew what he was getting himself into. But what can I say? I mean, at some point things just get real, and it got real. So that's where we're at today.
Well, consequences are real as well. So
absolutely.
What is the ramifications of him taking that money and then not honoring the contract?
I mean, each party have their own damages, right? The production company that we're working with, Everwonder, will help put this together and have a great relationship with Netflix. They're one of the premier live sports partners for Netflix. They have their own claims and damages. We, Manny Pacquiao and Manny Pacquiao Promotions have our own claims and damages, right? We're sitting in a lingo right now, not knowing if this man is going to step in the ring or he's not going to step in the ring. Clearly, he doesn't value anything that he signs. He loves to tell people don't do bad business, but this is like as high as it gets on the ladder.
Manny Pacquiao said that Floyd cannot break the contract or avoid the rematch anymore. And he insisted he still wants the fight because he wasn't at his best in their first match and believes he deserves another chance.
For me, I want this fight because the last time that we had, I'm not 100% conditioned because ready for the fight because I have injury shoulder injury. So that's why right after the fight, I go straight to the hospital and get operated.
Do you feel like he's ducking?
Reports say Floyd Mayweather is facing major legal and financial trouble, with possible penalties going over $100 million linked to the Netflix-Pacquiao rematch dispute, and there are also claims that his boxing gym could be shut down due to unpaid dues.
Is now under investigation with the IRS. He apparently owes the IRS $7 million, and they're looking to put a lien on his stuff. He's having issues with money, and Floyd Mayweather took the advance money from Netflix to face off against Manny Pacquiao in a rematch September 19th. And it's official on BoxRec. And so Floyd Mayweather's going through financial issues, big financial issues, right? And he's trying to recoup money any way possible. But he signed and took the advance from Netflix to fight Manny Pacquiao in a rematch in September in a real fight, only to turn around and say, it's not going to be a real fight. It's going to be an exhibition. That's after he already received the advance money.
Recent reports say Floyd Mayweather is also facing an IRS lien of $7.3 million and ongoing contract breach issues, which is putting even more pressure on his finances.
Fight at the Spear on Netflix. So he's reneging. And Manny Pacquiao is not happy. Netflix is not happy, so on and so forth, right? With that said, it said that Floyd Mayweather's boxing gym, the famous Mayweather boxing gym, has been receiving issues because unpaid money, right? And so it's on the verge of being shut down, allegedly. I was just there. And now it's widespread reports that Manny Pacquiao got wind of it.
Manny Pacquiao said he feels sorry for Floyd Mayweather, saying that he seems too focused on money and often talks about his wealth instead of being humble, respectful, and responsible.
What was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
It's kind of, yeah, he's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys ever talk outside the ring?
I'm pity with him. I'm pity with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think
The number of lawsuits and debt claims involving Floyd Mayweather is surprising, including a $1.3 million legal dispute over luxury jewelry, which is adding more pressure to his already controversial financial situation.
Time from a high-end Miami jeweler claiming he owes $1.375 million for luxury watches and chains. According to court filings, Mayweather allegedly purchased 27 watches and 15 chains, totaling $1.675 million from AJ's Jewelry last August, but paid just $300,000. 5 checks reportedly bounced. The lawsuit follows other recent legal issues, including a New York claim alleging he owes $330,000 in unpaid rent on a Manhattan penthouse, along with a separate federal case in South Florida involving a reported $4 million jewelry dispute. The 50-0 former champion is scheduled to return to the ring in September for a rematch against Manny Pacquiao.
Wade Plemons has raised serious questions about Floyd Mayweather's alleged contract breach with Netflix regarding the planned rematch with Manny Pacquiao. He said there are only 2 likely explanations. Either there was a major breakdown in paperwork and communication during negotiations, or Mayweather is intentionally trying to manipulate the deal for financial benefit. He also pointed out a surprising claim that Mayweather had already received a cash advance from his fight purse before the match was fully confirmed, which he says is highly unusual, especially with the event now in doubt, and he added that taking advance money and then publicly weakening the promotion raises serious concerns.
Even got to the fight. I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like partially, but still, what? So if this is to be believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag. Floyd has done this for years. He has done this for years, especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji. I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of.
Wade also suggests this may not be a one-time issue, saying Mayweather has shown a similar pattern in past exhibition fights where financial demands and last-minute changes caused problems. He pointed to the Deji exhibition and the Logan Paul event, where there were also claims of payment disputes and promotional conflicts. The situation becomes more serious on the legal side, as reports say Mayweather signed 3 separate agreements for a professional fight with Pacquiao and was paid under those deals. If that is true, Wade says it would mean Mayweather is officially in breach of contract, which could lead to a lawsuit from Netflix and Team Pacquiao and potentially become one of the biggest legal controversies of his post-boxing career.
They actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions, and obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after essentially scamming royalty like Prince whoever in Dubai and stole his money. This is insane. Now he's trying to do it to Netflix. Oh yeah, he's 100% about to get sued because Team Pacquiao says Floyd Mayweather signed 3 contractual agreements for a professional fight against Pacquiao. 3 separate agreements. They also claim Floyd Mayweather has been paid for signing these 3 agreements and has also taken out a cash advance payment on his purse for the fight. They also say Floyd Mayweather is officially in breach of contract for publicly stating this fight is an exhibition. And if this is all true, which again, this is Team Pacquiao saying this, but again, I think Mike Coppinger also reported on.
Floyd Mayweather's luxurious lifestyle has long been based on wealth, status, and a flashy public image, with expensive watches, custom jewelry, and designer clothing all becoming part of his identity. However, a recent legal dispute involving AJ's jewelry has raised concerns about how that lifestyle may be facing financial and legal pressure. According to the complaint, the jeweler allegedly trusted Mayweather under a "you're good for it" type arrangement, allowing him to take high-value jewelry with payment expected later. The lawsuit claims the agreement later fell apart, with Mayweather reportedly failing to make full payments and only sending partial amounts. It also alleges that several checks were returned unpaid, with court records saying only about $300,000 was received, while roughly $1.375 million remains unpaid, and that repeated private attempts to resolve the issue were unsuccessful.
For it, you'll get me later. And in the past, maybe they had this arrangement and it works. But in this new lawsuit and complaint, he's saying that for whatever reason, allegedly, Floyd defaulted on that and then sent partial payments, but not the agreed upon amount. And then he's claiming that Floyd Mayweather had checks that he sent to pay back this debt owed, and they bounced. According to court records, AJ's jewelry says it only received about $300,000 in payments, which leaves roughly $1.375 million owed. And that repeated attempts to reach Floyd to resolve this debt have been unsuccessful. So this suit also lists and details how transactions were handled, and allegedly there was a breach of contract.
This situation shows the risks of living a very extravagant lifestyle where constant displays of wealth are expected. Jewelry worth over $1 million represents luxury, but it can also turn into legal trouble when payments are disputed. For Floyd Mayweather, once known as Money Mayweather, these allegations raise questions about whether his image of endless wealth is now being overshadowed by lawsuits and unpaid claims. It also suggests that the pressure to maintain a flashy public lifestyle may be adding to the current challenges he is facing during his semi-retired career.
Based on this current outstanding balance. As far as Mayweather's representatives, they have not issued a public statement on this matter or responding to the lawsuit at hand. This latest filing adds to a series of legal and also contractual disputes involving the 8th division, well, actually, he's a 6th division world champion since his retirement. And this is kind of underscoring how these celebrity transactions can lead to former litigation and go left when they are contested. So that is where we are regarding Floyd Mayweather. Troubled times for the now semi-retired boxer Floyd Mayweather. So $1.4 million in jewelry.
Aries Spears criticized reckless spending by pointing to Mike Tyson's past financial struggles, saying it shows that even the most successful athletes can face money problems if they make poor financial choices. He explained that huge earnings can quickly disappear through an expensive lifestyle, uncontrolled spending, and weak long-term planning. Spears emphasized that fame and wealth do not guarantee financial stability, and without discipline and smart money management, even legendary careers can end up facing serious financial setbacks, proving that wealth in sports can be very fragile.
That was one of like the OG jewelers. Like these are the, one of the jewelers that supplies like all the other jewelers, right? And he told me that Mayweather is broke.
I keep hearing this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's true.
I don't think it's
but he said that based on his spending and so forth, this is why these fights are happening now. That he needs to make some money back. That the spending has outpaced the money that, the money
he's been retired.
Right.
And he's still, flying to Monaco with a bad bitch, buying up half the store.
Right. Always flying private.
Yeah.
Does he have his own plane?
Yeah, he does.
He does, right. So that's massively expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you own it, the upkeep is huge. Right. Plus all the properties, all the property tax. Yeah, I mean, if you're not properly invested, because there was he was saying that he bought this building in the Diamond District, but people are saying that's, the same jeweler said that's actually not true.
Right.
So there's been a lot of stuff like that. Listen, I hope not, man, but I remember I interviewed Tyson. He lost like $300 million.
Grant Cardone, a business expert, criticized Floyd Mayweather's financial strategy, saying that poor investments and careless spending habits could hurt long-term wealth and stability. He also questioned the importance of having over 22 million followers, asking whether that audience truly turns into real business or income. According to Cardone, having a large following doesn't mean much unless it is converted into actual assets or steady cash flow.
You know, Floyd Mayweather's got 22 million people following him. But is it any good? Like I don't know what it does with him. Like, does it do business with him? Does it transact with him? I know guys with big followings. But there's nothing happens as a result of the following.
So you on the is Floyd rich or is Floyd broke? Which side?
I don't know. I think Floyd ends up broke.
Ends up broke
if he doesn't. It's not a Floyd thing. It's not a Floyd thing. It's an asset thing. If you don't end up in assets, you end up broke.
Yeah.
So because you can't keep fighting forever.
So if Floyd was watching right now, what would you say to him?
You know, Floyd, you need to spend as much time working on your investments as you do in Neiman Marcus or the Gucci store, the Fendi store. Like,
he could just invest with you, though, right?
He could invest to Cardone Capital. You know, I mean, I would ensure that he's a billionaire.
Wow.
Like you cannot become a billionaire without.
He suggested that Mayweather could face financial instability if he continues focusing on luxury spending instead of building investments. In his view, wealth is not maintained through high-end shopping but through owning income-producing assets like real estate and large companies. Cardone explained that true billionaires grow their money through systems that create steady cash flow, pointing to companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Netflix as modern examples of strong asset models. He also said real estate remains one of the most reliable ways to build long-term wealth, and his main message to Mayweather was to shift attention from lifestyle spending towards structured investments that create lasting income and generational financial security.
That's what Floyd would do. Floyd would take whatever money he's got, and we would basically, my recommendation to Floyd is, Floyd, do not be liquid. You do not want liquidity. Never show a king bed of cash again. Okay, it makes you look stupid. Okay, what would be smart is if you show somebody 38 acres of real estate that produces cash every month and say, look, I own that. And I own this one over here and I own that one. I met him just 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's like, you know, I got some penthouses. I said, no, you got this much of a penthouse. I own the whole place. That's the difference. Call me when you're...
Chael Sonnen explained that Floyd Mayweather, like many top fighters, faces the challenge of keeping his wealth after retirement. He said that while Mayweather's boxing career brought huge fame, record-breaking earnings, and worldwide recognition, the attention naturally fades once a fighter stops competing. According to Sonnen, this change makes the transition difficult because steady income, media focus, and opportunities are no longer guaranteed. He added that for even the most successful athletes, managing money after retirement is just as important as earning it in the ring, and long-term financial discipline along with smart investments is key to maintaining stability in the future.
Boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question, look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face, the numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. Literally nobody. It's the same thing with boxing pay-per-view. Whatever boxing pay-per-view is the biggest boxing pay-per-view of all time is just whoever put out the press release and lied more than the person before them. These have never been confirmed by leadership of a publicly traded company, who is the one that supplies the pay-per-view. It is illegal for them to lie. You have never heard.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned. See you in the next one.